Hi, ladies. Hello, hello. I'm back. I got sick last week and actually was very sick. And boy, there's nothing worse than a summer cold when it's hot outside and you feel like crap. But I'm better. I got my voice back. It's still a little wonky, but it's here. And so I wanted to get back to doing Facebook Lives and talk about September and where we go from here. And I put out today a word of the month. And you'll see for your newbies in Crazy Busy Women in Balance, we do this every month to try to put a stake in the ground every month for what we want to do, how we want to be intentional. And it's all surrounding a word. I also do this at the beginning of the year, and the whole year being something that I move towards. This is really important. It's a small step to get you guys to live in intention. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today is why a word of the month is important, but also what it means to live intentionally and why it is important. And so, crazy busy, where we all have been, where I have been, where we all are, is about movement, right? We're just moving. We're moving through our life. We're moving fast. We're on that treadmill. Hi, Debbie. We're on that treadmill of our lives and we're going so fast. We got all these balls in the air and we're just going, going, going. Focus, 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 focus. And through that process, we can lose months, if not years, of just surviving the busy. And surviving the busy is how we get into crazy busy. And we almost use it as this excuse for our lives and not taking control of our lives because it's just crazy busy. I have no control. And that is not true. You have control, but control has to do with slowing down. And that is really hard when you're on that constant treadmill. So I wanted to just talk about, part of the overwhelm that you all feel every day. It has to do with the pace of your life, has to do with all of the responsibilities coming at you and you filtering them through the filter of don't want to disappoint anybody, need to be there, people are counting on me. So that kind of perfectionism, pleasing, the over caretaking, all of that stuff we talk about a lot. Hi, Lori. All the stuff that we talk about a lot that gets us to crazy busy is where this overwhelm comes from. And living intentionally is really about slowing down and thinking about how we want our lives to look and taking responsibility for that. And so what I mean, we start with a word of the month or a word of the year, but a word of the month really helps. And so, mine this month is, my alarm just went off. Mine this month is certainty because I am scaling up my business to help women out there get out of crazy busy. And it is scary. I'll be honest. It is scary. And my word certainty is my anchor for this month as I take a lot of risk for what I know I'm supposed to do. And so I'm kind of dangling in the wind on some of this, really out of my comfort zone, super proud of myself for putting myself out of my comfort zone and really going after my dreams and what I know I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life. But it's scary. And so my intentional anchor every day, and I have it on my mirror in this little, I bought these like bathtub crayons, like toddlers use, or I used to use with my daughter. And I wrote it on my mirror, certainty, because I'm certain that this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's an anchor. So these words of the month are really about anchor. So if you find yourself in a place, I know if you've got kids, that back to school season is really stressful and it's getting everybody back on schedule. And there's a lot of difficulty getting kids out the door and getting back into a routine and all of that stuff. It can be very stressful. So maybe your word of the month should be peace or calm, whatever it is. Mine is certainty this month because I need certainty and that anchor to calm me down and know that I'm doing this for a reason. So the word of the month is supposed to be your anchor, but it's also supposed to be your compass because you need you need to know where you're going in order to get there. And so often as crazy busy women, we're in survival mode, and it's survival is the destination. And that's not a destination. It's certainly not a good enough destination. You can have so much more in your life than just surviving it. And so we really have to slow down and ask ourselves, what do we want? What's missing? What do I need? A simple thing we can do every day to get us out of the treadmill and into the moment is just simply, as we react or get triggered to our life or overwhelm or whatever, to just stop and ask ourselves, what do I need right now? Do I need support from a friend? Do I need to take a breath? Do I need to take a walk? Do I need to laugh? Do I need a break? Have I eaten? All of those things. Like, what do I need? And you check yourself emotionally and physically what you need. And that can get you out of just motor skills of moving and into the present moment and being intentional about taking control of this moment. Now, the word of the month and what do I need are not big enough to completely change. Done. You've got a balanced life. Really, it is about a practice, and it is about, the best way I can describe it is changing your operating system, reprogramming your operating system. And we talk about this a lot, and I want some consistency in some of these Facebook Lives, and some of the tips that I give you is we need to reprogram how we've been living our life. And this is how we've been making decisions and how we've been living our life. And that reprogramming has seeded itself from our childhood all the way to our young career self. And it's how we function without even thinking. And balance, as I mean it, again, I don't mean that 50-50 work-life balance in the sense that I work 50% of the time and I don't work 50% of the time and I can turn it all off. World doesn't work that way anymore with emails and phones and texts. And I don't know about you, but my clients text me now and they expect an immediacy response. So to my friends, family, relationships, whatever, immediate response. Gosh, you haven't responded in 15 minutes. That's crazy. Okay. But that's the way the world is. So we're constantly melding our lives, blending our lives between work and fun and play and balance. And that's what I mean is work-life balance to me, and balance to me is really getting what you want out of your life and having you in control and at the center of your life. And there's no way to be in control of your life without living intentionally, without slowing down and making decisions based on your values, based on how you want to show up in the world, based on the longer picture than this moment. And really stepping into, why should I say yes versus I have to say yes. Because we don't know how to say yes. We don't know how to say no as crazy busy women. We're just yes, 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 yes. I'll figure it out. One of my operating systems that I had to get rid of is I can, so I should. I lived my life that way. I can. I'm high skilled in a lot of things, so I can, so I should. And then I had to stop and really think about what I wanted out of my life. And I wanted to stop the crazy busy, and I wanted to start living and having more in my life for me, and having more time for me, and having the things I wanted in my life versus serving everybody else. And the only way I could continue to do that is to make decisions based on, is this really my responsibility? Is there another way to go about this? Can I delegate? Can I say no? Can I set a boundary? All of those things only happen if you slow down and you're intentional about how you want to live your life. And we're all here in this group of 3,000 powerfully strong women who are crazy busy trying to figure out how to live differently. And the overall way to finally get rid of crazy busy is to reprogram your operating system through a variety of steps that I can teach you. But in the meantime, being absolutely clear that constant motion is not going to get you anywhere except exhausted. And actually, constant motion is actually truly getting you nowhere except stuck. Stuck in the cycle of crazy busy. And what I want you to do is break that cycle. And let's start today with setting intentions for the month with a word that is your anchor. So when you start to swirl or go crazy or get in that treadmill, on that treadmill, to really stop and say, my word of the month is peace. My word of the month is certainty. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to ask myself, what do I need? And when you're confronted with somebody wanting you to do something that triggers you, ask yourself, do I really need to do this? Is there another way at this? Is it my responsibility? Do I need to set a boundary? Do I need to say no? Is there somebody else that can do it better, or just as good? And really check yourself on the decisions you're making every day. So I want you really, truly to slow down and live intentionally. And the first step of that, the little chunk that we're going to take, is to pick a word of the month and let that be your anchor and guide for this month, to slow down and really anchor into a word that can really help you stop the cycle of crazy busy. Secondly, when you feel completely overwhelmed, to just stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what do I need? Okay? Because you deserve to have time. And here's the thing that's so crazy, and I know I've said this so many times, but when we stop the cycle of crazy busy, we actually become better at all parts of our life, because we're present and we're breathing, and we come with a totally different energy to help and support all the different things we've got going on in our life. When we actually live in intention and slow down and make decisions based on our values and our legacy and all of those things, and we reprogram our operating system, we really are better at everything in our life, including serving ourselves. And that is unheard of as crazy busy women, to have a line that even says serve yourself. But you need to serve yourself first in order to have so much more for everybody else. And we're not even on the list when we're in crazy busy. We constantly slip off the list because other things come. And every month we'll say, this month's going to be different. And I would love to hear from you guys. Post how many of you have already written off 2019 and just say, in 2020, I'll do things differently. And it's September. There's plenty of time to change. Specifically 8 weeks, because I have an 8-week program that really gets you out of crazy busy, and it works. And if you want to learn about it, messenger me, but don't waste time anymore. Hi, Claudia. Don't waste time anymore, because honestly, this is the only life we've got to live, and it's got to start by slowing down and getting what we need out of life too. And it is possible. It is completely 100% possible, because I've done it, and I'm doing it for women every day. And no matter what their job, no matter what their circumstance, it is possible. I am a single mom. I have my own business. I do crisis communications and running this coaching business. And I am not crazy busy anymore. I have work-life balance. I have peace and joy, and it is possible. My schedule and my life sometimes still gets wacky busy. Hello. I haven't written off this year. Yay. I don't want you to write off this year, Micah. I don't want anybody to write off this year. It happens. Like for me, I don't know, when kids go back to school, whether you have a kid or not, it feels like a fresh start for me. And my daughter and I sat down the other night and we're like, how do we want to do things differently? Because we got kind of slothy in the summer, doing not eating as healthy as we normally do, and not doing great sleep habits and all of that stuff. And so we set out some intentions of what we wanted. So intentions are everything, because they are your guideposts. If we're not living intentionally, then we're just letting other people rule our lives, and our responsibilities rule our lives. And the only way that we can get out of crazy busy and everybody else ruling our life versus us being at the center of our life is to live intentionally and have intentions and have anchors out there of what we want to accomplish and what we want to do. And that only happens if we slow down and ask ourselves important questions like, what do I need? What do I want? What's missing in my life? And figuring out ways to get there. So I know we just got a couple more people joining. I'm still trying to find the right time for Facebook Lives so people can be on live with me. So if you guys have ideas about what a great time of day is or a week, I'm going to start doing more Facebook Lives. I'm going to start back on my Fun Friday recommendations. I don't know, for a lot of people that are new, early on I used to do these Fun Friday things where I'd showcase one of my favorite things, because I love to shop. And I have a lot of favorite things, from lipstick to wine to jewelry to all sorts of stuff. And so I was sharing it for a while, and then I fell off, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that they wanted to come back. So Friday, I will bring back Friday Fun. And we're going to get down to it in fall because I don't want to waste the last 4 months of the year. 4, 3, September, October, November. See, 4 months of the year. I don't want to waste 4 months of the year because there's a lot that can be accomplished in 4 months and mostly changing your life. So I have been talking for a long time. So I'm going to get off. And I just want to say that you guys can do this. Live in intention, pick your word of the month, use it as your anchor, and slow down and ask yourself, what do you need? What's missing in your life? What do you want? Okay, that's it. Oh, hi, Stephanie, right on, under the wire. I got to go. Thank you so much, you guys. Check out my 8-week program, messenger me. I can put a link for scheduling a free coaching call if you just want to get to the bottom of what's blocking you and getting you out of crazy busy. Hi, Kristen. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I'm starting to think that I need to start these at 3:30 because people are joining. But I've been talking for 15 minutes, and that's way too long. So I've got to get off. Listen to this non-live and get some tips about how to live with intention and get out of crazy busy. And messenger me, and we can talk, okay? Bye. Thanks so much.